Lin Fan travels through the Douluo continent and awakens the world video system at the age of 6, pulling all Douluo people into a different space. Following closely, Lin Fan's edited videos emerged one by one. Play the scene of the top 10 Douluo celebrities, play the top 10 most powerful soul skills of Douluo. Play the top 10 secrets of Douluo world that are unknown to everyone, play the top 10 strongest soul masters of Douluo. Bibi Dong. Tang San. How dare you deceive my disciple who Lyena's feelings and use her. You also make my daughter unable to become a god. Destroy my martial soul hall. You will die. Even if you are Yu Xiaojiang's disciple. Qian Rinxue. Tang San, that bastard, actually made me. Xiao Wu. Tang San, you are simply not human. Tang San. Death novel keywords. Play stunning scenes of Douluo, perform small dances and offer sacrifices. No pop-ups, playing stunning scenes of Douluo and offering sacrifices with small dances. Download the complete TXT collection, play the stunning scenes of Douluo and perform small dances as sacrifices. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. As long as you edit the video, you can become stronger. Seeking collections. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. As long as you edit the video, you can become stronger. Seeking collections. Douluo Continent, Pinyin Village. In the morning, the warm sunshine shone on Lin Fan's sleeping body, waking him up. It seems that the martial soul will awaken tomorrow. If we could awaken the golden finger, that would be great. If you can't wake up, why don't you go through time? Nima, why don't you lie at home and watch videos of beautiful women? Lin Fan is a traveler who traveled to a peaceful village and became a member of it. And when I traveled, I became a baby and was adopted by the village chief Wang Fugue. Lin Fan now really hopes that when his martial soul awakens tomorrow, he can awaken the golden finger. Otherwise, even if his martial soul awakens to a top-level martial soul, he will not be a match for Tang San. After all, Tang San possesses the top-level martial soul of twins, Xiantian Gong, and hidden weapons. His father, Tang Hao, is a Haotian Douluo. How did you hit Tang San? Tang San has opened too many cheats. You can't beat it. If Tang San cannot be defeated, then in the end of Douluo, Tang San will kill Bibi Dong. I don't want Bibi Dong to be killed. How beautiful Bibi Dong is. His noble and cool temperament attracts people. Dead is absolutely not allowed. Wait a minute. How do I like Bibi Dong? I actually like young women. What's the difference between me and that bandit? But if the golden finger doesn't awaken, then his martial soul test is still a useless martial soul. That's completely impossible. If the martial soul is a top-level martial soul, there is still a possibility of changing the ending. I can't even be a bandit anymore. And I am just a small villager, it seems that I can only use mysterious codes. Lin Fan looked outside his own door and found it empty. It seems that Grandpa Wang Fugue went door to notify about tomorrow's awakening of martial souls. Then you can speak it out loud now. Golden Finger Dad, come out. This system is a world video system. Please select the video to play to Douluo people, and you can receive rewards from low to high based on their attractiveness. Lying down, the golden finger finally came right from the beginning. Calling Dad really works. But since it's playing Douluo's video, what should we play? Upon careful consideration, Lin Fan is already a seasoned Douluo fan who can easily edit Douluo videos with various plotlines and memes. But it's a bit difficult to edit it brilliantly and attractively. This can have it. Lin Fan suddenly lit up. Xiao Wu offers sacrifices, with over 20 billion views. As for the secret of the secret room. This one is not very good. Let's still perform a small dance as a sacrifice. If Bibi Dong knows that he made the video and lets everyone see the secret of the secret room, she will definitely kill me. Alright, it's up to you. Xiao Wu offers sacrifices. Thank you, Mr. Lin Fan, for choosing to play the video. The reward has been received, please check it. Lin Fan, the host, will post rewards based on the attractiveness of the audience in the future. Good, the leg-stretching eyeball pill only dissolves in the mouth but not in the hands. Upon hearing this sentence in his mind, he smiled slightly. It seems that I have 2 lives in the future. When I'm about to die, I'll eat one. I'm thriving again. At this moment, Lin Fan's eyes suddenly darkened. Soon there was light, and he found himself pulled into a pitch-black space. The host is now the manager of the system space. Please manage the Douluo crowd and play the video of Xiao Wu's sacrifice. However, this space cannot be used for hands-on activities, and everyone can only discuss and cannot stimulate their soul power. I understand. Then a blue screen appeared before his eyes, playing the complete video of Xiao Wu's sacrifice. Lin Fan was a video editor in his past life, and his skills were good. He still had the confidence to edit brilliantly. Then he began to focus on editing the video of Xiao Wu's sacrifice. But he suddenly realized that Xiao Wu's sacrifice belongs to the future video, which can easily have an uncontrollable impact on the plot of Douluo. So we can only try to make the video very short, so that everyone can't see the various information about the future Xiao Wu sacrifice. After a long time, Lin Fan finally finished editing. Suddenly, a little light appeared in the pitch-black space that was originally dark. Then the cute little lowly Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, and Xiao Wu's figures. Shrek's 7 monsters all appeared in this strange space. Even figures with the power of 100,000-year soul beasts such as Titan Ape, Sky Blue Bull Python, and Dark Demon Evil God Tiger also appeared in the outer space. Even the most powerful soul beasts, such as the Black Dragon King Emperor Tian, the Ice Sky Snow Girl, the Ice Emperor Silver Dragon King Gu Yuna, have been dragged into this strange space. There is also a group of popes and others dressed in extremely gorgeous and noble martial soul halls appearing in this strange space. This strange space is boundless, and even in the distance, one can vaguely see the figures of the 7 major sects, including the 7 Treasures Glass sect and the Blue Electric Overlord sect. It seems that all the soul masters and soul beasts in the entire Douluo continent have been pulled in. After being suddenly pulled into this strange space, Xiao Wu was still a bit confused. When she saw someone among those dressed in luxurious clothes, an extreme expression of hatred suddenly appeared on her face. Immediately, she exclaimed coquettishly in her heart. Spider Girl! You killed my mother, I will definitely seek revenge. Although Xiao Wu is very angry, she lacks strength and is completely unable to seek revenge. At this moment, an electronic male voice echoed through the entire vast space, instantly concentrating everyone's attention. Here, everyone can only force Lai, not fight. Lin Fan just said these words and found that his voice had been changed to System Space, all beings are equal. Whether ordinary people or semi-divine Douluo, they can only talk about it, not take action. Lying Trough. The system speaks well. The system is super powerful. When they heard this, the strongest Qiandaoliu and Poseidon were slightly stimulating the majestic soul power in their bodies, only to find that they couldn't work at all. And the same goes for others. At this moment, everyone realized that the mysterious man who had pulled himself into the system space must have terrifying strength. But at this moment, Lin Fan suddenly saw a woman. This woman is voluptuous and spirited, bright and dangerous, beautiful and charming. She has fragrant shoulders and silver hair, and is naked as pure as jade. Her delicate and beautiful feet make her graceful figure. At this moment, her skin was so white, like a warm and beautiful jade, without any flaws, and like clear spring water, fresh and free from any worldly impurities. She belongs to the kind of breathtaking beauty. With every move of her hand, every pitch, every lift of her eye, and every turn of her gaze, there is no place that is not beautiful, no place that is not touching. But that ethereal temperament makes you feel that this woman should only exist in the heavenly realm, and she should be heard in the human world a few times. If she drifts to the human world, she is just various illusions. Ordinary people dare not cross the thunder pond easily. Her arms are as pure as white feathers, delicate and delicate, with white jade wrists and delicate jade hands. Her waist, incredibly slender, was as delicate as a bone, exuding an unparalleled charm. And those slender and extremely complete legs revealed beautiful and charming curves. She has purple eyes and willow eyebrows, a jade nose and a sandalwood mouth. In her luxurious and beautiful appearance, there is a faint sense of dragon power, and there is a hint of enchantment in her stunning posture. Looking at the crystal clear and snow-white, pink-carved and flawless skin, dressed in a white battle suit, exuding an unparalleled coolness. Her face is in the prime of youth, extremely charming to all beings. She is immortal and pure, making countless women, even the most beautiful Qianrengshu of Douluo humans, unbeatable. I can't believe there are people in the world with such beautiful appearances. Lin Fan suddenly realized that he was an old lecherous person who liked beautiful women whenever he saw them. Even though he used to like BB Dong, it's very awkward, new book set sale, kneeling down for recommended tickets. Check-in. Review. Everything. Beginner's little white article, please forgive me greatly. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Play the scene of Xiao Wu sacrificing his name, for collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Play the scene of Xiao Wu sacrificing his name, for collection. While Lin Fan was lost in the charm of Gu Yuna, everyone at this moment began to talk. What a terrifying means to pull us all into the same place. Ning Feng couldn't help but sigh. Sword Douluo Qinshin and Bon Luo Gurong couldn't help but nod in agreement. Just as Ning Rongrong was about to speak, he was pulled behind by Grandpa Jian and Grandpa Bon, preventing the mischievous little princess from speaking casually. You should know that there is 1,000 streams here. Qinshin's father is a level 97 Super Douluo, but he was killed by the 1,000 streams. He dare not let Princess Rongrong act recklessly. The Black Dragon King Tianzi immediately asked the Silver Dragon King Gu Yuna, the master was suddenly teleported here, and I don't know how serious the injury is. No problem. It's just that the person who teleported us has terrifying strength, and his strength should be above that of the Divine King. Based on my perception, he shouldn't be one of the 5 great Divine Kings. If we win over this person, our soul beasts will be one step closer to overthrowing the rule of the human Divine King. The Black Dragon King Emperor immediately issued an order to the teleported soul beasts, urging them not to speak rudely to this person. However, Bibi Dong remained silent. She was just training the golden generation of Hulaina, Yan, and Xiaoyu in the Martial Soul Hall, but suddenly teleported here. She could feel the terrifying mysterious power that pulled them into this alien space. She is an invincible existence that is countless times stronger than the power contained in her acceptance of the 9 exams of the Rakshasa. But all the soul masters have been teleported, where is Yu Xiaojiang? Suddenly, a scumbag uncle wearing a black robe caught her attention. Bibi Dong knew that Uncle Hu Jia was wearing the same clothes as Yu Xiaojiang when he was young, but his appearance was too different. She found it difficult to believe that it was Yu Xiaojiang. At this moment, she also saw Lu Erlong searching for Yu Xiaojiang everywhere. Her gaze also turned to the scumbag uncle, but she couldn't believe it either. That scumbag uncle was the charming Yu Xiaojiang from back then, with a jade tree facing the wind, handsome and free-spirited, and his soul lingering in his dreams. Bibi Dong withdrew his gaze and stopped looking. But her intuition told her that it was Yu Xiaojiang. That's Yu Xiaojiang. That's Yu Xiaojiang. Lu Erlong looked at Frand and walked over to ask, Frand. Is that person Yu Xiaojiang? Frand felt a bit uncomfortable, but Erlong still had no affection for him. Long Mei, that's Xiao Gang. Xiao Gang. Are you planning to keep talking to me like this? Looking at the beautiful woman in front of him, who looked like a flower, Yu Xiaojiang's heart was trembling. He struggled a few times to open his mouth, only to find that he couldn't say anything. Lu Erlong stared deeply at Yu Xiaojiang and said, Xiaojiang, I won't let you escape from my hands again this time. Fran smiled and said, run. How do we run? This time we were dragged into this space by the person who claimed to be Mufan. If I'm not mistaken, he will continue to come. Xiaojiang can't run away. Upon hearing these words, Lu Erlong finally felt relieved. But Bibi Dong was very sad, as Yu Xiaojiang was taken away by Lu Erlong. Ah! The vinegar in her heart is getting stronger and stronger. Hu Lina noticed the teacher's sadness and asked, Teacher, are you okay? It's okay. Bibi Dong withdrew her mind. Now that she is the Pope, she cannot be jealous like a little girl. But her eyes couldn't help but blink wildly. Lin Fan, who was addicted to Gu Yuna's beauty, spoke calmly. A steady male voice suddenly sounded in the pitch-black space above. Welcome to this video appreciation gathering, all human soul masters. Please don't panic, I have no malicious intent, I just want to share some interesting videos with everyone. Lu Erlong, who was suddenly interrupted, saw that Yu Xiaojiang had already run away. Yu Xiaojiang, you can't run away. I couldn't help but exclaim coquettishly. On the other hand, the adorable chubby Ma Hongjun, who is not afraid of anything, suddenly said, Who the hell are you? Why did you pull us all to this dark place? Let us out quickly. Lin Fan looked at Ma Hongjun, who was still a child, and surprisingly had such courage. So his teacher Fran can't keep him. After all, Fran is only a soul saint now, and he cannot defeat the soul Douluo, even the title Douluo. Moreover, there are super Douluo and semi-divine Douluo here. But it's no wonder, after all, his martial soul evil fire phoenix strength surpasses Tang San's Haotian hammer. Nature is particularly courageous. The male voice rang out again. My name. You can call me Mufan. And now you only need to move your mind and be able to leave on your own to where you used to be. But I believe that once the video starts playing, everyone will definitely be reluctant to leave. The next video to be played is titled Top 10 Amazing Scenes of Douluo. Before revealing the most crucial candidates in each of the top 10 celebrities, everyone can guess. There is no punishment for guessing incorrectly, but there will be generous rewards for guessing correctly. Upon hearing these words, Ma Hongjun became curious and said. The most crucial person. I don't understand. The sound of Mufan rang out, I just love to grab the limelight. Ma Hongjun said with a silly smile. Since that's the case, I guess the person who loves to grab the limelight the most must be Mr. Dai. He loves to show off the most. He loves to pick up girls. Even though he's not even 10 years old, he has already picked up several pretty girls. Not really. Please keep guessing. On the other hand, Qianren Shui, disguised as Xueqing River, suddenly said, Pope Bibi Dong. This person is quite famous. Upon hearing these words, Bibi Dong immediately glared angrily at Qianren Shui and said, Aren't you also very famous for the Xueqing River in the Tiando Empire? Xueqinghe smiled and said, Who is afraid of who? I am the crown prince of the heavenly Dou Empire. How could I be afraid of you, the Pope of the Martial Soul Hall? If I were the elder of the Martial Soul Hall, I might still have some respect. Qian Dao Liulian quickly stopped him and said, Stop making trouble. Qian Daolu then coughed twice, making the two enemies stop talking. Tang Hao couldn't help but think of his son Qian Xuanji when he saw Qian Daolu. When Qian Xuanji chased after the 100,000-year-old soul beast Blue Silver Emperor Ayin, Ayin sacrificed himself to save him and her child Tang San. The past is unbearable to look back on, and he secretly felt sad and took a sip of muffled wine. Old Jack immediately scolded, Old man, I really want to slap you. I know how to drink every day and don't know how to take care of the mistress. Hey, the mistress is a tough kid. Other kids play every day when they're 6 years old. You're lucky, he takes care of you every day. Faced with the ant that could be pinched at any moment, Tang Hao felt uncomfortable in his heart, but he did not take any action. And old Jack knew there was Tang San here, so he didn't say anything too unpleasant. Su Yuntao said, Tang San, you are the last one to test the martial soul. Although I don't know why it was transmitted here, the result still needs to be said that although you are born with full soul power, your martial soul is the abandoned martial soul blue-silver grass. Although Tang San was a bit sad, the hammer in his right hand gave him some confidence. Su Yuntao looked at old Jack and said, I'm going to Ping'an village to test my martial soul. After watching the video, I'm leaving. Do you have any children in your village who are over 6 years old to test their martial soul? Old Jack, who was originally very arrogant towards Tang Hao, immediately flattered and said, Your esteemed soul master, it's gone. Su Yuntao nodded and waited for someone to reveal the key figure before watching the video. And although he doesn't know what the video is, it sounds very interesting. And the Titan ape looked at the 6-year-old little lowly, and the little dancer said, Little dancer, I'm sorry for not protecting your mother. Xiao Wu smiled bitterly and said, It's okay. I'm going to Nodding City's Nodding College to learn human knowledge next. After finishing my studies, I'll be back. The Titan ape begged, Little dance sister. I don't want you to leave. Tianqing Bull Python said, Erming, although I can't bear to part with little dance sister, following her wishes is the best. The Titan ape remained silent. When Lin Fan heard the Titan ape say little dance, he interrupted everyone's discussion and spoke up. Congratulations on your successful answer. The 10th key figure in the top 10 stunning scenes of Douluo is the 100,000-year soul beast. Titan ape, as a reward for getting the answer right, I'll reward you with a good thing. But let's watch the video first. Suddenly, the pitch-black alien space lit up. A row of large white characters appeared above everyone. The 10 shocking scenes of Douluo. Sacrifice of soul beasts for 100,000 years. Now, start playing the video. Just follow a video and start playing. The fairy Xiao Wu, who had eliminated the rabbit's ears, stepped on the void with her crystal shoes and ran towards the dying blue-haired man Tang San. Although this is a video, all the soul masters who watch it have an excellent feeling of being there firsthand. After seeing it, the Titan ape suddenly shouted, Wow! This 100,000-year-old soul beast is so beautiful. I don't want you to die. No. Don't sacrifice. Subsequently, Xiao Wu transformed into a pink light and integrated into Tang San's body. The video ends here. The super short video did not reveal any information about the future about Xiao Wu's sacrifice. And Tang Hao saw the noble temperament of his wife Ayin from the blue-haired man. But he didn't treat the blue-haired man as his own child. And the words just now, the sincere tears of Xiao Wu just now, were all like tears streaming down her face. I don't want you to die. No. Don't sacrifice. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Play name scene, Ayin sacrifices. Seeking collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Play name scene, Ayin sacrifices. Seeking collection. But it didn't touch some people. Especially Douluo frowned deeply. He was speechless when he looked at his good partner Douluo, and he couldn't take his eyes off the video. There is also Pope Bibi Dong. She is usually very ruthless, but when she meets Yu Xiaojiang, she becomes impulsive and foolish. Moreover, when she sees her favorite Yu Xiaojiang with Lu Erlong, she is very jealous. And the most surprising among everyone is also Gu Yuna. She watched the soul beast fall in love with humans in the video, which was simply unbelievable. Humans and soul beasts are enemies. How could it be possible to fall in love? And the top 10 ferocious beasts, the Jade Swan and Biji, added on the side, there was a similar situation before, where the 100,000-year soul beast Blue Silver Emperor Ayin sacrificed himself to Tang Hao. Perhaps it was because of an example that this unknown 100,000-year soul beast was sacrificed. Suddenly, the voice that claimed to be Mufan rang out again. Titan Ape, now I'll cash in the reward I gave you, Rui Golden Hoop Stick. If you are willing, you will become very powerful, even hang and beat your most annoying dark demon, the evil god Tiger. And the words had just finished. In front of the small mountain-like body of the Titan Ape, a dazzling red light flashed fiercely. The Rui Golden Hoop Stick, less than 2 meters long, appeared in front of it. Moment possess, Qiandao Lu, Gu Yuna, and Emperor Tian all suddenly turned their gaze to the Rui Golden Hoop Stick in front of the Titan Ape. They all have the ability to perceive divine power, especially Gu Yuna, who is well aware of it. Therefore, at the first moment, I keenly felt that the stick in front of the Titan Ape was truly terrifying. It even surpassed the super divine tool of the strongest Shura god king in the Douluo divine realm, the Shura divine sword. Gu Yuna even felt that this stick could even break the Shura divine sword with one stick. If she had obtained such the greatest divine weapon of all time, she would have been able to defeat all the human divine mansions in the Douluo divine realm, and even the 5 great divine kings. Gu Yuna suddenly felt uncertain in her heart, wondering what kind of existence this wooden fan really was. Surprisingly, it is possible to create this invincible artifact that can easily destroy the Douluo divine realm as a reward. But others were unaware, so Ma Hongjun shouted arrogantly, just reward a stick that's nothing. There's no soul power fluctuation on it. I won't play with you anymore. I'm leaving. Upon hearing this, everyone was no exception. Gu Yuna, on the other hand, was ecstatic. These ignorant humans, these self-proclaimed intelligent humans, really thought this was just a stick. Hurry up and leave. After leaving, their soul beasts will receive 10 rewards and be able to destroy the human divine mansion in the Douluo divine realm, allowing them to take control of this world again. Ha ha ha, this group of humans is simply unbearable and has laughed their teeth out. On the contrary, it is other soul beasts that remain motionless without Gu Yuna's command. But Poseidon noticed Gu Yuna's contemptuous gaze and immediately drank coquettishly. Ignorance. This thing is divine. How can mortals glimpse divine power? Upon hearing the divine object, everyone couldn't help but be extremely excited and immediately decided not to leave. Gu Yuna gave Poseidon a glare, which could be considered a tie. How dare you ruin her good deed? The Titan Ape, on the other hand, despised holding this stick, especially lightly. It's not big either, and you can also take out your earwax. Da Di Tian doesn't feel very good if only this stick could grow bigger. Thinking about it this way, the Titan Ape, who is just a brain, is also thrusting his hand into his ear. Gu Yuna immediately shouted, no. Disgusting. Mu Fan's voice rang out. It seems that the master of the Titan Ape doesn't really like it. Well, since you're the first one to guess correctly, I'll give you a chance to exchange rewards. You can choose to resurrect any person or beast, learn the most powerful soul skill, or eat a fairy grass. The Titan Ape immediately got up, its eyes shining brightly, and shouted loudly. Really? Then I want to resurrect Xiao Wu's mother. Halfway through his words, he was suddenly covered in his mouth by a giant palm condensed with soul power from the human form of Emperor Tian. Emperor Tian and Gu Yuna exchanged a glance. After the appearance of the Rui Golden Hoop Stick reward, they already have a deep belief in everything that happens in this alien space. So if this system is true and can allow Titan Apes to resurrect a person, it will as long as the strongest divine king and dragon god lord are resurrected. How powerful will the soul beast power be? Therefore, Emperor Genius, under the signal of Gu Yuna, stopped the Titan Ape. Although the Rui Golden Hoop Stick is indeed very strong, Gu Yuna knows that this stick has a temper and will recognize its owner. I like this silly monkey waving it. This Rui golden hoop stick, like the trident of the sea god, weighs a total of 108,000 pounds, but the divine power waves emanating from it crush the trident of the sea god. If the Titan ape were to use that small toothpick stick to fight against the Douluo divine realm, it would probably have been split in half by the Shura divine king's knife before being hit. So it's better to resurrect the dragon god lord, so that the silver dragon king Gu Yuna can merge with the heart of the golden dragon king and the dragon god to become the dragon god. Alternatively, there is no need to merge with the golden dragon king and allow the dragon god to be resurrected directly, which would naturally be the best. On the other hand, Xiao Wu was very eager for her mother's resurrection, but for the sake of righteousness, she had to sacrifice herself. Mufan Road. It seems that you have some disagreements, so after the top 10 Douluo famous matches are over, can you tell me which reward to choose? Next, we will play the 9th key figure in the inventory of the top 10 famous Douluo venues. Guess who it is? Mufan's words have just finished. Shrek, everyone's voices are all ringing. Ma Hongjun said in a high voice, I guess Dai Mubai is the one who loves to show off the most. After all, he's only about 10 years old and knows how to pick up girls every day. Isn't that enough to show off? Dai Mubai was just about to beat Ma Hongjun up. He just said he was enduring it, but this chubby guy kept mocking him. Even Buddha would be angry, and the tiger would bite even when it's urgent. Subsequently, Dai Mubai looked towards the direction of the Star Luo Empire, while 6-year-old Zhu Zhuqing did not look at the person who abandoned her. Ma Hongjun continued, Brother Mu, if you want to talk about being in the limelight, shouldn't it be Dai Mubai? He likes to find women every day. In the future, if I have chosen to walk on 2 different boats twice, why not him? Dai Mubai immediately roared, I already only love Zhu Zhuqing, don't slander me. Zhu Zhuqing looked at him with a cold and disgusted expression, saying, Hee, why did you abandon me? Dai Mubai looked embarrassed. And everyone's voices guessed and guessed. Mufan's voice, however, never sounded. This indicates that no one guessed correctly. At this moment, not far from the outer space the gathering place of everyone in the martial soul hall. After a moment of silence, Qian Daolu suddenly spoke in a low voice. If you talk about being the most eye-catching, my son Qianshuan must have a place. He just finished speaking. The sound of Mufan is heard. That's right, the angel god worships 1,000 streams. As a reward. But considering that your son is the only major villain in Quan Douluo who cannot be washed white and has also been listed as the most detestable and hateful person in Quan Douluo, he cannot receive the reward. Upon hearing these words, Bibi Dong felt a burst of joy. Originally, when the name Qianshuan Ji was mentioned, Bibi Dong felt a chill and panic. He had committed an immoral act against her in the Chamber of Secrets more than 20 years ago. Anything said is simply heartwarming. Tang Hao was extremely happy when he heard this. It was because of Qianshuan's pursuit that Ayin sacrificed himself. Qian Dao Lu, on the other hand, repented for teaching his son like this. Qian Renxue suddenly realized that her father was so bad. It's simply terrible to be despised by someone who can easily create a divine artifact. Omniscient and omnipotent existence. Mu Fan's voice suddenly sounded, interrupting Qian Renshue's thinking. So, let's take a look at the video. Due to the fact that Ayin's sacrifice is a past video, playing it to everyone will not cause the plot to become uncontrollable. So Lin Fan didn't edit it and played it directly. Following closely, over the pitch-black space, the video began to play. Inventory of the top 10 famous Douluo scenes, Ayin sacrifices. Starting from 9th place. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Ancient Moon Na Eternal. Cute new author kneels down for recommendation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Ancient Moon Na Eternal. Cute new author kneels down for recommendation tickets. Gu Yuna Yyds. Gu Yuna Douluo's first beauty. After hearing that Ayin was sacrificing, Bibidong relaxed first. She was afraid that this wooden fan would play her secret room video with the shameless beast Qiang Sunji. Of course, Bibidong just heard Mu Fan say that Qianshuanji is the most vicious person, and she also thought in her heart that this person wouldn't play the Chamber of Secrets video. Just be afraid of 10,000, what if this Mu Fan is a black-bellied man? Fortunately, Mu Fan played a video of Qiang Sunji chasing the 100,000-year-old soul beast Ayin. Compared to Bibidong's happiness, Tang Hao lifted the wine bottle in his hand and took a sip. And Tang San, watching the video playing, also realized for the first time that his father was so amazing. He thought he was the son of a young blacksmith, but he turned out to be the titled Douluo, who had suffered a heavy blow while stepping on the void. And my mother is the 100,000-year soul beast Ayin. But at this moment, old Jack clearly saw the tough man in the video, who was Tang Hao, who came to Holy Soul Village 6 years ago to work as a blacksmith. He only found out now that the drunkard waste he had been cursing for the past 6 years was actually the titled Douluo, Haotian Douluo, who could crush him with one hand. Suddenly, old Jack's legs softened from fear and he knelt down. Tang Hao, you're actually a Douluo. I've been cursing you for 6 years, and I hope you can forgive me, this blind old man. Tang Hao, on the other hand, was not in the mood to talk to this old man. The tragedy of 6 years ago is about to be played, and he can't bear to watch Ayin sacrifice again. So he turned around. And Bibidong stared angrily at the shameless beast Qiang Sunji in the video. Watching him be defeated by Tang Hao with a big hammer, I immediately felt a lot of relief in my heart. However, Qian Daolu felt uncomfortable in his heart. His son was killed by Bibidong because of the serious injury caused by this hammer. If it weren't for Bibidong leaving his granddaughter Qian Rengshu behind, he would definitely punish Bibidong severely. As this has already happened and everyone is aware of it. So everyone's reaction was not as strong as last time. A voice rang out in Lin Fan's mind. Host, the response to this video playback was not very good. Please close the live broadcast room in a timely manner to prepare for the next exciting video editing. Lin Fan nodded. At this point, the system automatically plays the concluding message in Lin Fan's mind. Lin Fan started reading it from scratch. Ladies and gentlemen, this video appreciation gathering has come to an end. Please leave on your own. However, before we do this again, we will release the Titan Ape within a certain limit and have one chance to fulfill your wish. When this sound was heard by everyone, and when they heard the sound ringing in their ears, the entire space suddenly exploded. Bibidong immediately said, Titan Ape, give me this wish. I am willing to give everything you want. Resurrect the 100,000-year-old soul beast, the soft bone charm rabbit, that I killed. When he heard this, the Titan Ape was about to foolishly agree, but was loudly coquettishly shouted by the Silver Dragon King, Titan Ape, do you want to go against me? The Titan Ape was about to refute, but the Sky Blue Bull Python shouted loudly, Erming, don't resist the Silver Dragon King. The Titan Ape didn't pay attention to the Silver Dragon King and the Sky Blue Bull Python, just looked at Little Dance Sister and said whatever Little Dance said. Xiao Wu just wanted the Titan Ape to resurrect her mother. But he was stared at by the Silver Dragon King and the 10 fierce beasts. At that moment, Xiao Wu broke out in cold sweat. She knew that if she disobeyed orders, she would definitely be killed. But she also wants to resurrect her mother. And while Xiao Wu was thinking, Qian Daolu exclaimed excitedly, Titan Ape, would you like this opportunity to fulfill your wish to help me resurrect someone? As long as you can agree, I can represent the Martial Soul Hall to hold you and your friend for 100,000 years of soul beast safety. I won't hunt your soul beast soul bones. Ning Fengji said, Titan Ape, can you help me evolve my 7 treasure glass pagoda martial soul with this wish? If you agree, our 7 treasure glass sect can also promise you the best banana to eat. Unlimited supply. Tang Hao exclaimed excitedly, Titan Ape. Resurrect my wife Ayin. Otherwise, I will kill you. Poseidon said, Titan ape. Help me find someone, and I will give you the protection of the sea god. When it was discovered that the Titan ape could obtain a wish, the entire alien space was filled with various tempting conditions for the Titan ape, hoping that the opportunity for the Titan ape to fulfill his wish would be for his own use. However, although Titan ape is very interested in unlimited bananas, it is simply not worth mentioning compared to Little Dance Sister. The Titan ape silently wiped the saliva from the corner of its mouth with its hand. Then the Silver Dragon King Gu Yuna shouted coquettishly, with all this, do you want to impress my subordinates? It's just wishful thinking. Get lost. When they heard the rolling words, everyone was intimidated. For a moment, the space was completely silent, and even the breathing and heartbeat of the crowd could be heard. Subsequently, Silver Dragon King Gu Yuna said, Mufan, I am only talking to you now. No one else can hear the content of my wish. Is that okay? Sure. Gu Yuna, this super beautiful woman, wants to talk to herself alone. I suddenly feel so excited. Subsequently, Lin Fan instructed the system to only allow himself to hear Gu Yuna's words. My subordinate Titan ape makes a wish to resurrect the dragon god. Lin Fan asked the system, is it okay? No way. If you want to resurrect the dragon god, you need to merge the Silver Dragon King and the Golden Dragon King to resurrect. The Silver Dragon King Gu Yuna will disappear, absolutely not. I agree. Lin Fan looked at Gu Yuna and said, no, please change your wish. Gu Yuna listened and sighed. Then he looked at Xiao Wu. You come on. Xiao Wu was about to speak, but the Black Dragon King Emperor Tian spoke first and said, Lord Silver Dragon King, is it impossible to fulfill your wish? You can make a wish that you will never die. As long as you don't die, our soul beasts will eventually overthrow the rule of the 5 great divine kings. Although Gu Yuna couldn't bear it, she also hoped to revive her subordinate Xiao Wu's mother. But in order for the soul beast to ultimately overthrow the rule of the 5 great divine kings, it can only be so. She was just about to start, but suddenly felt an indestructible feeling. It seems that even in the face of the joint attacks of the 5 divine kings, she cannot be harmed at all. However, there has been no rapid improvement in strength. Alright, the video appreciation session in the alternate space has ended. After 3 minutes, the alternate space will be temporarily closed, and you can freely choose to exit the alternate space. The next time the alternate space will open is 7 days later. The voice calling itself Mufan rang out again. Is the next QA session in 7 days? For a moment, many people felt lost in thought. It seems that this video appreciation gathering should continue indefinitely, rather than being a one-time event. But I just don't know what the reward for the next video QA. With the first video QA, Lin Fan withdrew from the alternate space. At this time, at the home of Wang Fugue, the village chief of Pinyin village, Lin Fan's heart was filled with excitement after exiting from a different space. He needs to prepare to get the rewards for playing these 2 videos. And then from an ordinary person to a supreme genius. However, it should be noted that although he is bound to the world video system, Lin Fan's golden finger system is very different from almost most of the systems he has read in novels before. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Hollow Willow Swallows Everything. Requesting recommended tickets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Hollow Willow Swallows Everything. Requesting recommended tickets. The most different point is that the reward given by Lin Fan's golden finger can not only be obtained by himself, but also by others. So this led to Gu Yuna achieving her wish of immortality, and no attack, physical attack, spell attack, or soul attack, could cause any damage to Gu Yuna. Even seal attacks cannot imprison Gu Yuna. Of course, Lin Fan also hopes that Gu Yuna will not be harmed. If she was accidentally discovered by the gods in the divine realm and was sealed for tens of thousands of years like the Golden Dragon King, it would be bad. But if the next wish was given to his enemy Tang San, then things wouldn't be good. Being enemies with Tang San is a very troublesome matter. A clear spear is easy to dodge, but a hidden arrow is difficult to defend against. If Tang San wants to assassinate Lin Fan, it's an easy task. However, Lin Fan's only major advantage is that he is a manager of a different space, which can help Tang San minimize the opportunity to make wishes. For example, if Tang San wishes to have the strongest martial soul, the system will give him a Pangu axe directly, and Lin Fan will be ruined. Tang San is already difficult to fight, and with another top-notch weapon from ancient times to the present, it's impossible to fight at all. So he needs to pay close attention to Tang San. If Tang San says the correct answer to the character, he will directly resurrect his mother Ayin instead of enhancing Tang San's strength. And according to Tang San's personality, although he is a hypocrite, he will definitely resurrect his mother. If he doesn't come back to life, his father Tang Hao will definitely beat him up hard. It is quite frightening for Tang San, a hypocrite, to be his enemy. System, what is my reward? Is it a wish or something? The first time the video was played, everyone had a high viewing experience, and the reward was a wish. However, the second time because it was a past video, many people already knew that the viewing experience was not as emotional as Xiao Wu's sacrifice. Therefore, the host's physical fitness was elevated to level 10 of innate soul power. Lin Fan suddenly felt a warm and inexplicable force injected into his body, and finally poured into the depths of his body from all four limbs and bones, becoming a part of his body. He felt a sudden increase in strength and couldn't help feeling happy. So my soul power level is the same as Tang San's. I won't be easily defeated from the front by Tang San, but if Tang San wants to assassinate, he will still be killed. I have to wish for an immortal ability. Otherwise, Tang San's hidden arrows are difficult to defend against. However, Tang San still doesn't know that he will become his enemy to prevent him from killing Bibi Dong and Qian Renxue. So, let's first take the Pangu Axe Martial Soul. The Pangu Axe Martial Soul is simple and rough, and with one strike, everyone at the same level will die. It's simple to kill Tang San with one axe. If that's the case, the host will be invincible without any challenge. Then I'll make a wish to obtain the 12 talismans from Jackie Chan's adventures. There's no challenge at all. Does the host just want to be easier? Oh. I really want to relax. Then I want to be as immortal as Gu Yuna. It's that dog charm that can keep the holder immortal and young, and immune to death and all deadly attacks on the holder. As long as they don't die, anything is possible. If they die, nothing is. I won't let you relax. I stepped on my horse and smashed your silly batch system. This won't work, and that won't work either. Is it so difficult for me to just lie flat and become stronger? What is my martial soul in the system? None. No. What kind of martial soul do I want? Since that's the case, let's have the Hollow Willow martial soul. After all, this Hollow Willow is exceptionally impressive. Long, long ago, Hongjun was still a cricket, which existed before Pangu. When Hongjun became the immortal of the Great Luo Golden Immortal, he did not expect that there was another one even more powerful than him, which was a Hollow Willow tree, known as the Yang Mei Immortal. Once, Hongjun had a battle with Yang Mei Immortal. Hongjun used all the magic weapons, but they were all taken away by Yang Mei Immortal. Because he himself is a hollow tree, no matter how many treasures he uses, all will be confiscated. Later, after Hongjun's defeat, Yang Lu returned all the treasures and said, "When you were enlightened, I was already 3,000 years earlier than you." Because he doesn't like to make a name for himself, and no one knows about him, nor does he want to meddle in worldly affairs. And the function of this Hollow Willow is similar to etherification, just like the divine power of Yuji wave carrying soil. However, the Hollow Willow is even more perfect, and the ethereal power of Yuji wave with soil only lasts for 5 minutes. It can penetrate objects and also devour them, ignoring all attacks except illusions. But hollow willows devour everything. And there is no time limit. However, without the virtualization effect of soil, it can penetrate everything. To be more precise, anyone in front of him would lose all their soul power, and even all the magic treasures would be sucked into his abdomen. This hollow willow is a martial soul like a black hole. After all, after reading novels for so many years, Lin Fan naturally knows the specific function of hollow willows. He could already imagine the joy of obtaining the hollow willow martial soul in the future. I can reach Tang San, but I will absorb Tang San's attacks. Whether it's Tang San's hidden weapons, blue silver grass, or Haotian hammer, I will devour them all. Are you angry? Hee 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 hee. It's pretty good. I can even repay Tang San's attacks on me. It's just that the hollow willow martial soul is still trash compared to the Pangu axe martial soul. With just one axe, Pangu axe can chop you down and kill you with one axe. However, there is no way, this system cannot be invincible directly. It can only make oneself less likely to die. System, I'm going to have the hollow willow martial soul. Good. After obtaining the hollow willow martial soul, Lin Fan planned to start exercising in the yard of the village chief's grandfather Wang Fugue. By the way, can't this system make you invincible when you wish? He originally planned to become an ordinary person without a golden finger and live a miserable life. But now to obtain the golden finger, one must work hard and strive. Start with 1-punch superhero exercise, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. After finishing, Lin Fan sat on the ground. He felt some muscle soreness, but it was not a big deal. I feel pretty good doing this 1-punch superhero exercise for the first time. If you were doing this with the usual physical intensity before, you would probably experience muscle strain and soreness all over the body, and it would be painful with just one movement. But now his physical fitness is just as good as Tang San's, so the intensity of the 1-punch Superman exercise method is just right. But at this moment, he heard the familiar footsteps behind him, the sound of footsteps slowly lingering. This footsteps sound very much like the village chief's grandfather, Wang Fugue. Child, are you working hard to exercise again? You're really hardworking. The other children are playing, but you're training. You're really grandpa's good child. Everyone says Lin Fan is someone else's good child, exercising every day. But grandpa, I'm so happy. Hee hee, grandpa praised me. Let me go and uproot the wild grass on grandpa's land first. I won't let grandpa do farm work anymore. Child, you are still so filial. Grandpa, I really enjoy it. Not bad, doing farm work also requires exercise. As long as you exercise every day, you can become stronger and stronger. At that time, you can step on Yu Jiang, grab Tang San's head, and sit on Tang Hao's head. To Tang San, how dare you want to kill Bibi Dong? Hurt Qian Rengshu. You're beyond your means. Die for me. Then he grabbed Tang San's neck and ended his sinful life. I feel quite satisfied. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. When you sow melons, you reap beans. The son of a mouse will beat you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. When you sow a melon, you reap a bean. The son of a mouse will make a hole. Request a recommendation ticket. After speculating, Lin Fan looked at the village chief's grandfather's 1 acre and 3 fen land and began to weed it out. After finishing, if you feel a bit thirsty, eat a wild fruit from a tree to quench your thirst. Afterwards, I will go back home to eat, water and fertilize the fields in the afternoon. In the evening, I went home to have some congee and went to bed when it was dark. A simple and unadorned day passed like this. Tomorrow, Lin Fan will be awakened by the sun again, and Grandpa Wang Fugue will get up early to make some millet porridge for Lin Fan. After Lin Fan smelled the smell of millet porridge, he went to cook. After finishing the meal, Grandpa Wang Fugue led him to the place where the martial soul test was conducted. On the way, Grandpa Wang Fugue was also urging other parents to wake up their 6-year-old child and not sleep in. Xiao Wang, call your child Wang Lao Ji up. Xiao Ye, call your child Iron Pillar up. Xiao Sun, call you son of a bitch. Xiao Lu, call you child Lu Xing. Xiao Xia, let your child Xia Snow up. Accompanied by waves of responses from women or men. Many children, with their hazy sleepy eyes, reluctantly walked out and followed the village chief's grandfather when their parents woke them up. These children know Lin Fan because Lin Fan is always very stable, which makes them like to call him Fan Gu. At this moment, Lu Xing suddenly said behind Lin Fan, "Brother Fan, can I awaken a super powerful martial soul, like the super invincible sword?" Lin Fan was about to speak when Xia Shui suddenly interrupted. "Dream it. You're overthinking it." Lu Xing ignored the girl who always liked to argue against him. Watching Lin Fan wait for his reply. Lin Fan looked at familiar Lu Xing and said, "You need to be mentally prepared for this." "Oh, do I want to awaken the deposed martial soul? It is also possible to awaken the super invincible sword. If the martial soul can mutate. Is it possible?" He, Lu Xing has always had good luck. He can definitely awaken the super invincible sword. Xia Shui said with a helpless face, "The possibility is too low. Brother Fan is comforting you." Lu Xing suddenly laughed and said, "I don't care. Today, I will definitely awaken the super invincible sword." "Absolutely. Then don't test your martial soul and become a useless one, crying. I don't know how to do it. I'm a big man. You're still a little kid. Aren't you too?" After seeing the martial soul testing site, village chief Wang Fugue immediately said, "Stop making noise. If it disturbs the soul master, it won't do." Lin Fan looked at the martial soul branch hall, which helped 6-year-old children awaken their martial souls. It was just a very rudimentary wooden house with a thatched hut at the top. Grandpa Wang Fugue walked into the wooden house to see if the soul master was there. After seeing him, he walked out and said, "The soul master sent by the martial soul hall has arrived, and the children will follow the soul master to start awakening their martial souls." "Yes, Grandpa Village Chief. Today I must awaken the super invincible sword." Wang Fugue, the village chief, walked over and touched Lu Xing's head, saying, "I hope so. Remember to listen to Lord Soul Master later, you know." "Got it. I, Lu Xing, will never cause trouble." Everyone, too. Everyone answered at the same time, "Okay, Grandpa Village Chief. Since that's the case, let the children come with me." As the village chief grandfather opened the door of the small wooden house, 6 children, including Lin Fan, also entered the martial soul branch hall. As for village chief Wang Fugue, he naturally stayed outside the martial soul branch hall to wait. After entering the martial soul branch hall, he was like Su Yuntao, the divine guide in Lin Fan's memory. The young man took out 6 black round stones from the package he carried with him and placed a 6-pointed star formation on the ground. Then he took out a dark blue crystal ball and placed it on the table in front of the wooden house. "Let me introduce myself. My name is Su Sanlian, a level 26 soul master. I am the guide of your martial souls. If I say something later, you will follow suit. Do you know?" Looking at the 6 children in front of him, Su San said in a deep voice. "Su San Lian. Quality Triple Company." He and Su Yuntao both have the surname Su, so is this Su Yuntao's brother? Let's ask him later. But Lin Fan remembers yesterday in a different space, didn't Su Yuntao say he wanted to come here? Why didn't you come? Is there something wrong with him? Come out and enter this martial soul awakening formation. After Su Sanlian finished speaking, he immediately pointed to Wang Laoji standing in a row, on the far left. Okay, Master Soul. Because he learned the general process of awakening his martial soul from his parents, Wang Laoji walked into the six-pointed star formation. Martial soul possessed. Seeing Wang Laoji enter the martial soul awakening formation, Su Sanlian immediately let out a low cry, and behind him appeared a black wolf. At the same time, two white soul rings also rose under its feet, surrounding its body. Subsequently, Su Sanlian quickly clapped his hands and infused several white soul powers into the black round stones that formed the six-pointed star formation. For a moment, countless golden dots suddenly escaped from the black raw stone and poured into the seductive body of Wang Laoji's skin. Close your eyes to perceive the martial soul inside you. After hearing Su Sanlian's words, Wang Laoji obediently closed his eyes and began to sense the martial soul inside his body, in a faint restlessness. The martial soul awakened by Wang Laoji was a Ho, and the final soul power test result was also 0 soul power. This made Wang Laoji feel a bit disappointed. But there's no other way, his parents are just Ho martial souls. As the saying goes, you reap what you sow, and the son of a mouse will make a hole. Although his parents named him Wang Laoji, they wanted him to live a happy and smooth life. But it seems that the martial soul has still awakened into a useless martial soul. Although Wang Laoji was sad, it was also expected. After Wang Laoji, the second one to awaken his martial soul was Yatianzu. The awakened spirit of Yataizhu is also a useless martial soul without soul power, or a Ho. And what Sun Guden awakened was also the abandoned martial soul Ho. However, Lu Xing awakened a sickle that was more powerful than a Ho. I couldn't help but sigh. Hey, after all, old Lu hasn't changed his fate against the heavens. I told you earlier, you didn't listen. My super invincible sword is gone, thieves feel uncomfortable. And Xia Shui awakened the waste martial soul embroidery needle. The children who finished the test have all left. Finally, it was Lin Fan's turn. Come and awaken your martial soul. Su Sanlian is disappointed that he has seen too many ordinary children and has not been able to become a soul master. So after everyone awakened their martial souls. Regarding the loss of the 5 children, Su Sanlian's face did not change, but he calmly spoke in a deep voice, asking Lin Fan to enter the martial soul awakening formation and engage in the process. And Lin Fan also walked into the martial soul awakening formation with curiosity. Afterwards, Su Sanlian quickly clapped his hands and thrust his soul power into the black round stones that formed the martial soul awakening formation. Countless golden dots suddenly dissipated and poured continuously into Lin Yu's body. End of this chapter. Chapter 7 has been signed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 has been signed. This novel has already been signed, 2 shifts a day. Kneeling here to seek recommended tickets. Chapter check-in. Check-in daily. Leave a message. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Details determine success or failure. It's not that it's very detailed there. Seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Details determine success or failure. It's not that it's very detailed there. Requesting recommended tickets. Because the village chief's grandfather had previously taught him to awaken his martial soul. So without the guidance of Su Sanlian, after the golden light dots flooded into his body, Lin Fan closed his eyes and began to sense the martial soul inside his body. This child seems to have hope. As time passed, Su Sanlian couldn't help but feel surprised when he saw that Lin Fan had absorbed several times more golden dots than the sum of Lu Xing's 5 people before, but there were still no signs of awakening his martial soul. Based on his past experience, children who can absorb so many golden light spots are basically 100% capable of becoming soul masters. And the awakened one should still be an extremely powerful martial soul. This should be the mutation of the martial soul, right? I just don't know what kind of martial soul mutation it is, and what kind of martial soul it ultimately mutates into. Looking at Lin Fan, Su Sanlian couldn't help but think to himself. In this Douluo continent, although the common people have not awakened their martial souls well, there is also a phenomenon of martial soul mutation on the Douluo continent. Even the most useless martial soul has the possibility of becoming stronger and becoming a powerful martial soul. Various agricultural tools and martial souls can also mutate into powerful martial souls. However, this probability is certainly very low. Su Sanlian has never seen a rural child with a martial soul mutation. I really didn't expect it. He can even one day see a very low probability of martial soul mutation. If he guesses right, if he can recommend such a genius to the Martial Soul Hall, then he can receive extremely generous rewards. This is really luck. No one can stop it. For a moment, Su Sanlian couldn't help but feel very happy in his heart. Afterwards, Lin Fan stopped absorbing the golden dots. When he saw this, Su Sanlian immediately activated his soul power and then gently said, "Summon your martial soul, little one." Upon hearing Su Sanlian's words, Lin Fan, who was in the martial soul awakening formation, opened his eyes and extended his left hand. As a blue light flashed by, the hollow willow appeared in front of Lin Fan. Willow Tree Martial Soul. Seeing Lin Fan summoning the hollow willow martial soul, Su Sanlian couldn't help but be a bit stunned. Because he thinks this willow martial soul is a useless martial soul. But combined with the strange situation of the child absorbing golden light spots just now, it is highly likely that this is also a mutated martial soul. Come and test your soul power, child. After pondering for a moment, Su Sanlian immediately picked up a dark blue soul power test crystal ball from the nearby wooden table and handed it to Lin Fan. Without hesitation, Lin Fan naturally reached out and placed his hand on the blue crystal ball. For a moment, Lin Fan suddenly felt a strong suction burst out from the soul power test crystal ball, wanting to suck in the soul power that had emerged from his body. But the devouring power of the hollow Yang Lu martial soul in Lin Fan's body is even stronger. He performed a spell directly in front of Su Sanlian, transforming the crystal ball and swallowing it into his own body. What's the situation? How did the crystal ball disappear? Su Sanlian was shocked and said. At this moment, Lin Fan brought out the crystal ball again. Then he calmly said, "Isn't the crystal ball always here?" Su Sanlian looked at the crystal ball that suddenly appeared again, wiped his eyes, and saw that the crystal ball was indeed there. Am I blind? But I haven't waited for Su Sanlian to pay attention to whether he is blind or not. Lin Fan injected his soul power into the crystal ball and immediately emitted a brilliant light. This is innate soul power. When Su Sanlian saw the dazzling light emitted by the blue crystal ball in front of him, he couldn't help but be shocked and his face was full of disbelief. And immediately after the big shock came ecstasy. This is innate soul power. A genius with innate soul power level, even if you look at the entire Douluo continent, they are like rare beings. Moreover, the innate full soul power mutation Willow Tree martial soul should be a control type martial soul. And the control type martial soul is the strongest existence in the early stage of cultivation. And such a top-level genius who controls martial souls. If he could invite him to join their martial soul hall. This will definitely receive rich rewards from the martial soul hall. When Su Sanlian thought of this, he couldn't help but suppress his excitement and asked Lin Fan. What is your name, child? Are you interested in joining our martial soul hall? Join your martial soul hall. Upon hearing Su Sanlian's words, Lin Fan couldn't help but feel a little surprised. Because according to the routine he had read in Douluo Tongren's novels in his previous life, his innate soul, full of soul power martial soul, in the Holy Soul Village, is likely to be considered as an abandoned martial soul. Then, the god's guide, Tao Gu, first sighed at his innate full soul power, and then unfortunately, he was a useless martial soul, and then there was nothing left. I didn't expect that Su Sanlian, who shares the same surname as Tauga, would invite him to join the martial soul hall directly. Why is this Su Sanlian different from those divine guides Tao Gu? Lin Fan suddenly asked, do you know Su Yuntao's soul master? He shares the same surname as me. He's just a lazy person and an old pervert. After identifying a child with innate full soul power and useless martial soul blue silver grass in Holy Soul Village, he received a reward and went to pick up girls. Then he entrusted me with the awakening of martial soul. I'm really drunk. Oh, so that's how it is. Lin Fan raised the corner of his mouth and said. Wait a minute, how do you know Su Yuntao? You don't have to worry about this kind of thing either. What matters now is whether you want to join the martial soul hall or not. Lin Fan put on a regretful expression and said. Sorry, Master Soul. I don't want to join the martial soul hall at the moment. Because I also want to spend more time with my village chief grandfather. When I have enough time, I can leave. Lin Fan still has to bid farewell to the village chief's grandfather, Lu Xing and Xiao Wu. After this farewell, it will be difficult to come back in the future. Although I have lived in this peaceful village for 6 years and am very reluctant to part with it, but I must work hard to become stronger. Otherwise, the tragedy of Tang San killing Bibi Dong will happen again. 1,000 feet of snow cannot become a god, and Gu Yuna was frozen by Tang Wulin for 10,000 years. I feel uncomfortable just thinking about it. So why can't this system make me start invincible? Even things like hollow willows, which can be used to hang and beat Hongjun ancestor, can serve as my martial soul even if I can make a wish. You can't just make me a title Douluo and give me another god-killing sword, you'll be invincible. Forget it, no more roast. Be honest and strong. To be exact, be strong through editing. As the saying goes, details determine success or failure. It's just the details. It's not that I'm very detailed. There's a big difference between the two. The difference is huge. Looking at Lin Fan, who didn't know what he was thinking, Su Sanlian said, is that so? What's your name? Then you can go to the martial soul hall in the nearby city and find me. My name is Lin Fan. Are you Lin Fan? I feel like your name has been heard somewhere before. After thinking for a while, Su San suddenly said, it's very similar to that Mu Fan. You're 2 pieces of wood, that mysterious person is 1 piece of wood. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Child, listen to my brother's advice, the water here is very deep, You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Child, listen to my brother's advice, the water here is very deep, you can't control it. Requesting recommended tickets. Upon hearing Su Sanlian's words, Lin Fan was not too surprised, but instead had already prepared the necessary measures. Indeed, but unfortunately, I am not that super powerful, handsome, charming mysterious person. It's really a pity. Su Sanlian was silent for a while, and roast, can you tell that the mysterious man is handsome by listening to his voice? I don't know, just intuition. But if I had the opportunity to make that wish, I might not have an eternal wish with that super beautiful silver-haired fairy. I would probably make a wish to make that silver-haired fairy, who has been a soul beast for 100,000 years, fall in love with me. Mad Gu Yuna is my woman. Don't compete with me. After roast in his heart, Lin Fan said, don't you choose invincible. After invincible, the silver-haired fairy will fall in love with you. Upon being reminded by Lin Fan, Su Sanlian suddenly realized. But being taught to be human by a child makes him very unhappy. I couldn't help but express disgust and say, little devil, are you teaching me how to do things? That's right, I'm just teaching you how to do things. You can't resist it. Anyway, you can't beat me. After roast in his heart, Lin Fan said, I dare not. If I can make a wish, I want to get the Wulin Haotian hammer, the strongest attack department in Douluo continent, instead of a garbage control department Wulin hollow willow tree. When Lin Fan heard that he didn't like controlling martial souls, Su San repeatedly advised him. Children, don't think your martial soul is useless. Your martial soul is a naturally powerful soul. Although it may not have the combat ability of Haotian hammer, it may have top-level control ability. Your talents may be buried elsewhere, but if you are willing to join our martial soul hall, you will definitely be able to cultivate into a talent. After all, our martial soul hall is the most powerful soul master force on the mainland. Looking at Lin Fan, Su Sanlian has not given up the idea of recruiting him. Would you like to reconsider? If you are willing to join our martial soul hall, we will send you to the best Soul Master Academy to study. And not only will we not charge you tuition fees, but we will also provide scholarships. Moreover, if you want to go back during holidays every year, we will send a special car to take you back. Su Sanlian faced the treatment of genius by the Soul Master Academy in the martial Soul City, and was full of temptation towards Lin Fan. This treatment is really amazing. Is this the joy of that day? Great. However, upon hearing Su Sanlian's words, Lin Fan couldn't help but be somewhat surprised. Master Soul, didn't I say I wanted to spend more time with the village chief's grandfather? I didn't say I wouldn't join, I just joined later. Su Sanlian explained, as the saying goes, there are many dreams at night. If you join early, there won't be any accidents. In case you are taken away by someone or suddenly change your mind. Child, listen to my brother's advice. The water here is very deep, and you can't control it, Fanzi. Lin Fan remained silent for a moment. He doesn't choose to join the martial soul hall now for a reason. On the one hand, he really hasn't figured out what to do in the future yet. If his golden fingers were the ones from novels he had read in his past life, such as those used to perform intimate actions with beautiful women or to check in at different locations, he would definitely need to join the martial soul hall. But unfortunately, his golden fingers are a bit abnormal. They can not only make himself stronger, but also make others stronger. More precisely, it acts on oneself and cannot harm the wishes of others. However, of course, most people have to resurrect people. Tang Hao and Tang San resurrected Ayin, and Qian Douluo resurrected Qian Xuanji. This Qian Xuanji cannot be resurrected. Dream it. The last time I was called out with a wish by Qian Douluo, fortunately the system tacitly agreed to my operation and did not grant Qian Douluo a wish. Otherwise, reviving Qinshuan's illness would be troublesome. Go back to the main topic. His golden fingers don't need to join the martial soul hall to become stronger, which makes Lin Fan hesitant about whether to join or not. On the other hand, Lin Fan felt that he was at least born with full soul power. If you agree to Su Sanlian like this, it feels like he's a bit too cheap. Then don't cherish yourself. Then these promises will turn into empty talk. He ran away after receiving the reward. Originally, Lin Fan had not thought of this, but when he heard Su Sanlian tell him that the water inside was very deep, you couldn't grasp it, Fanzi. He felt that Su Sanlian was unreliable. However, if his news could be known by Pope Bibidon in the city of the Pope, and someone could be sent from the Hall of Martial Souls to recruit him. In this way, his promise to join the Martial Soul Hall will definitely receive more attention. Be patient and not impatient. I can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. And maybe even Bibidong could come over and invite her to become her closed-door disciple. Children, let me talk to your village chief grandfather. Don't hesitate. Join the Martial Soul Hall now. Otherwise, you may be taken away by others. You also know that the Martial Soul Hall has the best Soul Master resources. You must join now, otherwise if you are taken away by others and join their power, it will delay your future. So don't take control of your future by yourself, this is too childish. Fanzi, the water inside is very deep, you can't control it, I will control it. I will go talk to your village chief grandfather now. Su Sanlian hesitated when he saw the child and immediately went to find him. After all, he has invited these ordinary children on behalf of the Martial Soul Hall, and no one can refuse it yet. Upon hearing the invitation, those children were so happy that they almost burst into laughter. However, considering that the child in front of him was born with full soul power, he didn't feel any displeasure. Genius always has a temper, how can someone without a temper be called a genius? That's an ordinary person. No need for this. If Master Soul tells my village chief grandfather, and he keeps nagging me, I will be very annoyed. What if I don't want to join? And I don't want your preaching to make the village chief grandfather feel uncomfortable. Lin Fan doesn't really care whether to join the Martial Soul Hall or not. Anyway, with the help of his system father, he just needs to carefully edit the video and receive rewards. The rewards of the system are always the best. This is an unchanging truth. When he looked at Lin Fan's angry face, Su Sanlian dared not bother the old village chief anymore. In case this kid really changed his mind and didn't participate in the Martial Soul Hall. So his reward is completely gone, how can he use the money from the reward to pick up girls? How to make more beautiful girls by increasing the cultivation resources in rewards. So we must not make this little ancestor angry. Otherwise, his good fortune with his future girlfriend would be a bad thing. And the most important thing is that the probability of children born with full soul power awakening in rural areas is really too low. He has only heard of Su Yuntao testing Tang San, who was born with a full soul power of level 10 and had a useless martial soul of blue silver grass, in the Holy Soul Village. And then it's gone. Only this one example. Don't be too conflicted in Su Sanlian's heart. Lin Yu is unwilling to agree to his invitation. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. The villagers were all shocked. Surprisingly, Lin Fan was born with a full soul. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. The villagers were all shocked. Lin Fan was born with a full soul power of level 10. Requesting recommended tickets. He originally wanted to achieve his goal by conquering Lin Fan's village chief grandfather, but now it seems that it is clearly not possible. When Su Sanlian thought of this, he could only sigh and plan to write a letter to inform the Martial Soul Hall after returning. Send someone from the Martial Soul Hall to take this genius away. Although he may not receive all the rewards in that case, he can still receive the majority. If we notify the headquarters of the Martial Soul Hall, we must say that Lin Fan's martial soul is a top-level martial soul. Didn't he just lose that crystal ball? In other words, this boy's hollow willow martial soul has the strongest ability in elemental space. That is to say, innate full soul power plus top-level martial soul. But Su Sanlian is not sure if it's a problem with his blindness. If it's really his blindness, then Lin Fan's willow branch martial soul will not work, if it's a useless martial soul. The headquarters of the Martial Soul Palace will definitely punish themselves. Confiscate the reward for discovering a genius with innate soul power when the time comes, and perhaps even punish yourself. So in the letter, he said he seemed to have seen Lin Fan lose the crystal ball. It's also possible that he has a clumsy eye. After thinking about all of this, Su Sanlian felt a headache in his head. Thinking too much makes his brain cells unable to bear it. After Lin Fan failed to join the Martial Soul Hall, he sighed and, with regret, packed up his things, opened the door of the Martial Soul Branch Hall, and walked out. As soon as Su Sanlian walked out, the village chief Wang Fugue eagerly surrounded him. Dear Soul Master, Lin Fan from our village is the last hope of our village. How is his martial soul awakening this time? Is there any hope of becoming a soul master? The old village chief asked hopefully. He is born with full soul power, and your village will definitely ascend to heaven in the future. Maybe he will emerge as a soul-level powerhouse like the Holy Soul Village, which is quite far away from here. His gaze slowly swept over the old village chief Wang Fugue and a group of villagers, and Su Sanlian couldn't help but be filled with emotion. My grandson is actually born with full soul power. Upon hearing Su Sanlian's words, village chief Wang Fugue's face was filled with shock, and he had not regained consciousness for a long time. He didn't expect the orphan he adopted to become a top-notch genius. Wait a minute. Martial souls can be inherited. That is to say, the orphan he picked up is actually an abandoned baby with powerful martial soul parents. Just such a powerful child, why don't they want it? If it were him, he would definitely take good care of it. Hey, these amazing people always don't understand their ideas. However, village chief Wang Fugue plans to share this good news with everyone in the village later. And when the village chief comes to his senses, Su Sanlian has left because he has to go to another village to host the awakening of martial souls. And Lin Fan walked away holding the hand of the village chief's grandfather. And Wang Fugue, the village chief, looked at Lin Fan, who was not happy at all. According to reason, children should be extremely happy when they know they are born with full soul power. Wang Fugue, the village chief, questioned, "Xiao Fan, why aren't you excited at all? Is this? I knew it before." Lin Fan knew before that he was born with full soul power and hollow willow martial soul. So obtaining the expected results completely eliminates the previous excitement. After he plans to go home, he will first use the one-punch Superman exercise method to exercise his body, and then start editing videos and playing them to make everyone stronger. Is that so? I don't know how you know, old man. I don't understand these things even when I'm old. But Xiao Fan, what is your martial soul? Control the martial soul, the hollow willow tree martial soul. Willow tree martial soul. It doesn't sound like a powerful martial soul. Anyway, it's innate full soul power level 10, so it's not a particularly bad martial soul. After learning about these, village chief Wang Fugue suddenly boasted loudly. My grandson is a martial soul with innate full soul power. Sleeping trough. Cowardly. You truly deserve to be my fan gu. Lu Xing, who heard roast, came with several people just now. And Lu Xing's parents, along with all the villagers from Pinyin village, also came to join the fun. In an instant, Lin Fan found himself surrounded by villagers and unable to leave. Then Lin Fan was repeatedly bombarded by these children and parents. Those mothers know that Lin Fan is born with a full soul power of level 10, so naturally they know that he will definitely be a super successful person in the future. If they marry their daughter to him, their family should enjoy it. Xia Shue's mother, does Xiao Fan like our Xia Shue? Do you want to arrange a doll wedding? Is Xiao Fan interested in my family's Yataiju? If you like him, please choose to be a child, said Yatieju's mother. When Xia Shue's mother heard that Yatieju's mother dared to snatch her daughter, she immediately scolded her. But Lu Xing looked at Xia Shue and heard her mother's decision to have a baby kiss, her face full of blush, and he always felt something was wrong in his heart. Then he asked Lin Fan, Brother Fan, is your martial soul a super invincible sword? No, Willow Tree. After Lin Fan answered, he saw many women with daughters wanting their daughters to marry him. Women under the age of 20, whether they are big or small, babies, lowly, girls, maids, or young women. Either it's to arrange for a child's marriage, or it's a child's foster husband. And fathers with boys all ask their children to find Lin Fan as friends. After feeling everyone's enthusiasm, Lin Fan wanted to run. But there is nowhere to run, and his martial soul is not a flying martial soul. I should have asked the system for a flying martial soul back then. Or it could be the chicken charm in the 12 talismans. Running is convenient for thieves. In the next moment, the system's wish reward will choose the chicken charm. But the problem now is how to solve this group of women who want their daughters to marry him. Lin Fan pulled the village chief Wang Fugue, who had always been praised. Village chief, you're really lucky. How could you find such a good grandson? I'll also go pick up a good son in the future. Village chief, you are simply amazing. Our village has produced such a talented child, and in the future, Lin Fan will grow up to be super amazing. It's amazing. Watching Wang Fugue, the village chief, immersed in the praise of the villagers, Lin Fan kept tugging at his grandfather's clothes before finally making Wang Fugue look at him. Grandpa village chief, I need to practice now. Wang Fugue, the village chief, coughed a few times and said, "Cough, everyone, stop making trouble and let Xiao Fan practice." Upon hearing these words, everyone did not stop and immediately made way for a path. I dare not disturb the cultivation of genius. Lin Fan was very happy to see that he could finally go home. It's too difficult for him to go home. If he attends the Soul Master Academy in the city and returns home during the Chinese New Year, he will definitely be blocked by these villagers and not allowed to go home. Then he chased after himself and introduced his daughter to him. I always feel so troublesome, forget it. Let's work hard to become stronger first. This innate full soul power level 10 is not enough to look at. Only by cultivating to the level of 90 with the title Douluo can Tang Hao be suspended and beaten. Hollow willows swallow everything. Bull, hustle and bustle. Lin Fan held the hand of village chief Wang Fugue and returned to his home located on the edge of the village. After returning home, Lin Fan experimented with using the awakened hollow willow martial soul. End of this chapter.